Okay, y'all, I'm about to go do a vlog with my friend Reza, who is an incredible musician, composer, does scores for film and TV, and yeah, we're gonna have an amazing adventure. Right now, I'm on the way, and that is a train. Well, the train went a little quick. Okay. Let me find out which way to go. It's all dark, so I have this thing where I tend to park really far away. And I don't realize it, but I like walking. That's beautiful. Just moving through reality here. What's exciting you in life right now?
This whole setup is exciting me. I'm like, what is going on here? It's incredible. Boom. It's amazing. Sure. I'm Reza Safinia. I'm a composer, also a producer and DJ, and also a yogi, also a builder. A few different hats.
Yeah.
In this sort of thing. Oh, hello, Timmy. That's my cat. It's one side thing. I'm generally excited about the state of music these days. We're living in a time where there's a lot more, like, it's not all, a nobody and a somebody. There's a lot of layers in between, and there's a lot of artists who have smaller followings but still are being successful and doing really amazing things. So much amazing music in all kinds of different genres that normally, or like 30 years ago, I would never have really found. And thinking about all those things and how to cross-pollinate different kinds of music and how one style of music in one area of my work, like maybe electronic music in my DJing, how that might affect the way I'm film scoring, or how my film scoring work might affect the way I'm making an electronic track. Anyway, those are the kind of things.
Yeah, no, all of that is super interesting. I think it is a cool time now because I feel like more people are empowered to have a creative voice in the world and are less dependent on like a major studio or getting things out there. Like, anyone can put things out there now, which I feel like has given a lot of power back to creators to be able to like share their art with the world without needing the approval of some external entity in order to do so, which is really powerful. And then, so what have you found on the second thing you talked about in how have your two different like forms of music with composing and DJing, how have they been informing each other?
Yeah, that's a really interesting thing actually, because, well, like for example, when I'm DJing, I think of it as a kind of form of storytelling.
Yeah.
So the way I'm putting a set together from beginning to end, I really do think about it like, the beginning, establishing the theme, the idea, and then, even though I'm playing a song, in my mind, it's like that song is presenting characters or moods. And it's like, what's the evolution of that? What's the journey that goes on? What are the challenges? Like the hero's journey, for example. So then, like, I'll think about that, like, in musical terms, like when I'm actually playing. And I'll be like, okay, I just played a few tracks that people are dancing to and they love it and it's like obvious and it's working. Let me throw something in there that's like challenging, and see how the audience reacts to it. And it's really interesting because either you notice people sort of the dance floor thinning out a little bit, in which case you're like, okay, maybe that was the wrong turn. And okay, now I've set myself up a challenge that I need to deal with, which is how to get those people back in, you know? Or they actually love that, and more people started coming in, or the people who are there, you see them like get more into it and enthused or whatever, then you're like, oh, that was interesting. They want more of this, you know?
Yeah.
So then you develop the rest of what you're going to play based on that little left turn that you took, you know? And so in that sense, for me, it's like a cinematic journey because, you know, you have the cadence, like in a movie, you have the cadence where, you know, for the first, like, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, things are going a certain way. Then there's like a turn against that.
Yeah.
Then for the next sort of like 30 minutes, the character's trying to find its way through that challenge. And then at a certain point it overcomes it. And then at a certain point it's triumphant, or, you know, there's some wonderful thing that happens and then it's the end, you know?
Yeah.
And it was kind of like that, you know, in the sense of DJing, where you'll take the audience on that journey and it's interactive with them. And, you know, you feed off their energy, they also feed off your energy, and together you create this narrative that goes through the same ups and downs and, you know, discovery period and then conclusion, you know? Electronic music has done for me in terms of scoring is it's made me think more in terms of, instead of actually scoring every little beat that happens, to actually take a longer stroke on something, and that abstractly gives you the mood throughout the whole thing that will work for all 12 moments, as opposed to hitting each one individually, you know? And that's something that I've been doing more and more of since producing more electronic music.
How do you feel like that's translated into the songs and into the, like, what's then seen on screen? Have any of those gotten on screen?
They will be actually soon. So Warrior, which is a show that I do the music for with another composer, is coming out at the end of June.
Okay.
On Max, the HBO Max now called Max. TV, when you got multiple characters, because you know, one character's energy might be a certain way and another character's might be another way, and them coming together in a scene is a certain type of clash that creates an energy of its own. Right.
Yeah. Because that is a character in itself.
Right.
The situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And would you find, like, I'm so curious with the sound, would you find, like, certain sounds kind of narrating the voice of different characters in that abstract expression, like certain tonalities and instruments?
Yes. In my mind, it's specific. Like, in my mind, oh, of course, this vibration is totally this situation.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
This instrument is doing something that is communicating this thing.
Yeah.
But that's only happening in my mind. It's not necessarily happening in your mind, you know? I mean,
I get it, though, because, like, when I'm making art, I find that though it's abstract, it's incredibly precise. From the internal perspective,
Exactly.
It's, like, so specific, the transmission of the frequency, whereas to someone who's observing it, it might look completely abstract or feel completely abstract, but from the creative perspective, it's like every little color and energy and piece is like very, precise.
100%, you know? I mean, to the point where even it's not even necessarily a certain instrument, but it might be like the way that you're playing the instrument, you know? It's could be how hard are you hitting the key, or a series of keys, and what is motivating why you're stopping where you're stopping. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
All those things are abstract things, but they definitely elicit specific emotions.
Yeah.
It's very interesting how that works.
Very much so, which makes sense because it's describing, I mean, to me this makes complete sense, but it, like, because it's like translating an energy, and energies are abstract, they're felt, but they're so nuanced and so layered, so like the energy that goes into every single part of the creation is then creating the energy of the moment that's then experienced, that's matching that moment.
Totally.
So like every part of it, I mean, I can relate to that with like the way the brush hits the canvas. There's certain energies that come behind it that like it's not just about what appears, it's the energy that goes into it, which is something that I feel like, even tying back to the conversation of with AI, that until AI becomes a completely conscious entity, that that I don't think will be able to be replicated in the same way, in the way of like the way we as humans can put our intent into our creations really determines the creation.
Totally. I mean, AI will definitely be able to replicate a lot of mediocre things or a lot of median things.
Yeah.
It's not about it. I'm not judging it. I shouldn't say mediocre because I don't want to put my judgment on it. But because of the way it works, the most data that points to a certain thing, it will go there. So it can easily do a very good job of doing something that is very common, right?
Yeah.
But this is what I saw someone say, is like, no AI is ever going to be able to write Pulp Fiction.
Mm-mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the genius that was in that movie and the way that it just was so unexpected. Like, you know, in my wildest dreams, I would have never have thought of that movie.
Yeah.
And that is some amazing feat that Tarantino did when he did that, because he really wrote something completely original and made a movie that was completely original with nothing like it before or after it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's almost like the way I would translate, like speak that myself, would be that the AI is, it can create things that are like the general collective pulse, because it's pulling from things that have already been created, which is brilliantly helpful when you need to create something that's like of that rhythm, but it doesn't have the innovation because it's not able to pull anything new.
Right.
Yeah. And I also think too, like art and music and things that are purely human created will go up in value
I agree.
because they'll become more rare.
Yeah.
It's differently because I think on some level we'll be showing ourselves collectively the contrast of like creation that's bringing that new energy in, and then creation that's kind of like repeat, and the stuff that's bringing that new energy in will be really felt on a deeper level for a lot of people.
I totally agree. I've actually had that thought. That's why I'm embracing it, and I'm not worried about this
Yeah.
type of technology, because I feel like it actually, exactly what you said, it puts more value on the human element that the computers can't do. You know, like do something you love, and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yes.
Have you heard that before?
My dad actually would say that since I was a child.
Yeah.
That was like his philosophy, and like, I mean, he was a fireman, but he would say, "I never work because I do a job I love," and he was always like, "Do a job you love, and you'll never work a day of your life." And it's so like it is something you'd find in a cliche quote book, but there's so much depth and wisdom in it.
Totally. Totally. It really is, you know. But you know, so I feel like that is going to be like, a lot of people have not listened to that wisdom, you know, and mainly because it's scary to tread the path unknown, you know, and maybe some people have too much to lose by doing that, and they need to just, you know, do something that they know, okay, this is going to be good for me and my family, and I can just live, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm not judging people who can't make the creative choice or
Yeah.
the one that is to follow their passion. But I feel like going back to what we were talking about, like the cheesiness of that quote, you know. The truth of it, though, is that if people were able to make that choice, they would just be happier in life, you know, and then other people around them would be happier, and then the collective energy of people in the world would eventually, like, it would have a trickle effect where people were generally less combative, less, you know, rat racy, more like, okay, I'm happy, you know.
Yeah.
And another thing I feel like also is a byproduct of that, or maybe also in symbiosis with it, is that part of the solution also is to realize that we need a lot less to live. You know,
Often are we fighting or raging about something, but underneath is just like, I want love.
yeah. Yeah.
You know? What do you think? Well, on that note, you want to show us some of your music setup?
Oh yeah, sure. All right. Oh, but you're in the Timmy zone.
I know.
How do you get up from this?
I don't know how you get up from this. This is kind of how do you ever? I would just stay in the Timmy zone all the time.
I call it the Timmy trap.
Is Timmy's like, I'm not done. Okay. I like the Timmy zone.
There you go. Okay, he knows what's up.
He does know.
See?
Uh-huh. He's like, not quite yet.
Yeah.
Don't rush.
He's
That's a
brilliant.
good one. I need that reminder. Don't rush.
All right.
All right. On to the next chapter. That was a fun conversation.
Totally.
Okay. Oh. I don't know. It doesn't stop.
That's funny. Want to just turn it around?
Yeah. How do you do that?
Oh my god, it's totally
Wait,
frozen.
I've never had that happen before.
I broke it.
It's kind of cool. He does. You know, I think that like kitten energy or that alive energy, we can keep the mics on, it's fine. Like I think as humans, we can keep our kitten energy our whole life.
I agree.
What do you think?
I totally agree.
Like, I'm pretty sure I'll be like 104.
Oh yeah.
You know, like what are we looking at here? It's your setup.
Yeah, that's my setup. I mean, it's just a bunch of synthesizers and a piano.
Cool. Is that the magic piano?
That's the magic piano.
Whoa. It is like I can feel it. There's like, it almost feels like it speaks.
Put your foot on the sustain pedal and then hit a key. That's the real magic of this one.
Okay.
Actually, put your foot on both pedals.
This
But
is
the
like
other one damps it.
the only thing I remember.
It just sounds good. I didn't do anything
Yeah.
complicated, you know?
Yeah.
I was just improvised.
Wow.
And it's just, that's what I'm saying. It's the piano just draws it out of me. You know, it's like I'm not even gonna remember that because I wasn't even thinking about what I was doing. You know. But
That was beautiful.
thank you. That's one of my electronic tracks, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow! That you played it on the piano?
Yeah. So it's a lot of things. A lot of my music has piano in it, but with electronic stuff. And that one, actually, I'll play it to you later. But yeah, the idea just came. A lot of the times, an idea will just come to me when I sit at this piano, and literally, this came to me the same way that the other thing came to me, where I literally just sat down, and it was the first thing I played. I just sat down and I went. I just did that, and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty nice. Where do I go from there?" You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Super beautiful.
It's like when you actually stick your head in there as well. When
Yeah.
if I play a chord, I stick my head in there. This is what I was trying. Sound bath. It's like the way and these strings. It's good. It's all. This piano is just an amazing thing. This is part of what makes it sound the way it sounds. Is that it has this very thick, heavy cast iron.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you know that phrase, they don't make them like they used to?
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. Like, old things
Yeah.
are just made with a certain type of quality. You know, these hammers are, I don't know, 50 years old. I don't think they've ever been replaced. Maybe they're older than that.
I can feel it, like the vibration as you were playing.
Yeah, it's really wild. I mean, yeah, I'll play that chord again. Check it out. Yeah, I'll get out of the way.
Oh yeah, should I stick my head in?
Yeah, stick your head in.
I could feel like the. Well,
This is one of the things I find interesting is that through the commercialization of music, we've come to look at music as entertainment, which of course it is.
Yeah.
And now we've separated the mystical aspects of music from music, and we go to sound baths.
Right.
Right? It's
Right.
like, oh, this crystal ball has a thing, but it's like, guess what? A piano has it too.
Yes.
A guitar has it too.
Yes.
But I feel like, you know, we've been sold like these types of instruments are for spiritual things, and these types of instruments are for fun. You know?
That's such a good point. I mean, sound literally makes creation. Why have we separated that?
Yeah. Like when you're playing piano, it's mystical how certain things just work.
Yeah.
And it's like, why does that sound good? You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of wild. I love sitting at this piano. I love just the craftsmanship of the keys. I love the touch, the way the keys feel.
Yeah.
I love the way this is written. You know, even these screws, everything about it. You know, these hinges.
Yeah. You agree? Absolutely stunning. On some level, people go to concerts or shows for that mystical experience. They just might not be using that terminology, but I think it's what, consciously or not, makes people remember.
Yeah, they feel the energy.
Yeah. What do you think? With it?
Yeah, just play whatever you like. See if it pulls anything out of you.
That would be interesting, because I really don't play, like, at all.
Well, that's the really cool thing about it. It sounds so good, you don't have to do much. You just press a few keys.
Feel like my fingers don't have the memory of being a piano to like follow the impulses I'm feeling quite in this moment, but I can feel it, like I can feel the songs, if that makes sense. Like I can feel how you work with it. I'm like buzzing. Whoa. Have you ever done just a piano show? Well, that was awesome.